Howdy everyone, Warsarcy here, and today we'll be looking at Save Your Nuts on Nintendo Switch. Save Your Nuts is a local and online party game with up to 8 players, also playable with just bots, where you work to capture the nut for your team by punching and kicking enemies and keeping the nut out of their grasp. There's 3 game modes: capture the nut, that's capturing 5 nuts one at a time in a 5-minute match time limit battle. Battle, where you knock out opponents by kicking their nuts. Haha. Put simple, just beating the crap out of them. And Thieves, where you fight for 5 nuts at the same time and steal them from each other's safe house. I had issues with this mode that I'll mention later. There's multiple characters with different stats, squirrels having more speed but less strength, dogs having faster digging speed but a smaller jump, armadillos having more strength and a special roll attack but less speed, raccoons carrying objects faster but having less digging speed, wolves having jump height but being aquaphobic, and beavers that like water and have a tail attack but dig slower. All these characters have different colors you can pick from and hats that you can wear. Going back to stats, I actually did a little speed comparison, and I'm not sure why, but when playing as a squirrel against a dog in a race to run in a straight line at a nut from the round start, the dog always got there first. Just a little something I thought I'd mention, as I didn't think that was supposed to be the case considering squirrels have faster speed stats. There are 10 arenas to choose from, but you only start off with backyard, park, and train station unlocked. You can unlock new arenas by playing a match on every unlocked arena and match on every future unlocked arena. I'm not sure if you have to win the match to unlock a new arena, as I just happened to win whenever I played on a new one. The arenas are impressive as they aren't just static maps where the players are the only hazards. Some of the maps have their own hazards, such as spike traps, lava, cars, trains, bridges the players can raise or lower, slippery ice that can break, and more. And another cool thing, on the soccer arena, the nut is actually a soccer ball. The houses are goals, and you have to hit the ball in the enemy's house instead of your own, which I thought was kind of awesome. I'm not really a fan of soccer, but there's something fun about playing a game of soccer as a bunch of small animals. But that's not the only arena that does that. In basketball, you actually have to play basketball and get it through the hoops. This one is just hilarious to sit there and watch the bots try time and time again to make a hoop, yet somehow be incapable of doing so. Seriously, I actually just sat there and let a bunch of bots gang up on one guy, and they still couldn't manage to make a single score, even when they were free to just drop down into the hoop. Given that case, the basketball arena is probably more meant for actual players, since bots just can't seem to do it beyond playing ball hog. There are multiple power-ups from coffee, donuts, and hot dogs that provide boosts to strength, defense, and speed. There are items you can dig up at red X's from bombs, traps, jetpacks, and even a poop trap that will make you leave a poop trail everywhere you go. There's only a few issues I had with this game, with the first being the shared screen. This was a more minor of the few issues I had. I'll give an example scenario as to why I wasn't fully on board with the execution of this. If you've got a nut and you're trying to get back to base and you're at the top of the screen on a larger arena, but everyone else is down below, the screen will follow them instead, and you'll have no idea if you're hitting into anything, making you vulnerable, especially to bots that can always see. Second issue I had was in the dungeon arena, where I had a bot carrying the nut get stuck on a pillar, so the round kind of just came to a halt for a while, as it was my teammate carrying the nut, so I couldn't really knock it away from him. The last issue I had was the issue I mentioned earlier with Thieves mode. If you play with all bots, even if they're on easy, if you don't grab the nuts first, you're not going to get them. If they're in the enemy's safe house, you'll have to dig one out one at a time, and anywhere from just one guy to the entire enemy team will always stack up on you and constantly hit you out, so you physically can't dig out a nut. It kind of makes it feel like a broken game mode. I'm sure even online that players will probably just puppy guard and prevent anyone from having a chance, but it just feels unbalanced and unfair. I think it'd be better to just have to run in and grab, because it'd force both teams to have to use more strategy rather than just sitting there punching and kicking out anyone that has to go in and hold down the dig button for multiple uninterrupted seconds. Besides that, I didn't really have any problems with the other game modes. Battle is fine, but Capture the Nut is where I think this game really shines, and I can imagine it to be the most popular mode to play, and if any of you watching this already play this online, please let me know if I'm wrong. But overall, this game is really fun, and the variety of arenas are just a blast to play on. It's not perfect, as there are still some things that could use fixing, but it's worth a try. So if you want this game yourself, it's available on the eShop for $15. I'd like to thank Triple Scale Games for sending me the review key. This is WarsRC in the Game Clips channel, and I'm out.